Hey everyone, Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Today, I want to test out the camera I have, the new camera, and so I'm going to take us around the fish room and just kind of focus on things. Still lots to do, getting ready for my trip for Brazil, and yeah, the babies, as you can see, kind of just going nuts in here, feeding a lot. Rainbows are starting to color up a little bit, as we can see. You know, there's a Bosmani, there's the red dragons in here. Let's see if I can find one that will stand out of the crowd for us here. We've got the the longfin rosy barbs. I'm going to add some more rosy barbs, I think, from the 150 to here. Bleherai. This is my favorite rainbow, I think. This one, it doesn't look cool enough yet, but it will. It's starting to put that color on. A lot of these rainbows, they take a couple years to really look cool. Here's one of the red dragons. If I can get it to kind of show you. See that red coming in on the side? Obviously the cichlids are hamming it up, but yeah. So yeah, the 800 gallon kind of doing well. Cichlid's doing the cichlid thing. So got the auto doser going. So we're dosing in fertilizer, but no CO2. I have it, but I'm not running it. And so yeah, the plants are coming in really well, I think, except for where they're digging. And so, like, they're digging a pit here and breeding, and you can see the fish are following me as they come over. This is not getting old, by the way. Even though it's a lot of yellow, as more and more kind of turn blue to become males, and people always ask, like, what are these called? Well, they're Pseudotrophia celosi, which is a mouthful, but yeah, the fact that, you know, the 800 gallons kind of getting that come to your hand vibe again like it used to. Been having a ton of fun. But yeah, much more babies coming out of these guys. I've got the light turned down low. Trying to find a balance, and that's what I'm kind of taking you guys for the ride for here today. You see how there's like this algae that forms down here? Well, the way that the light casts, it hits this bottom part. And if I move the light back further, so it's 4 feet front to back, then you get this dark spot up top. You see how these fish up here aren't lit up very much? And that's due to the way the lights are. So if I move it up too much, I get too much algae. If I move it back too far, I don't see the fish the way I want to. And so that can be a bummer. But, you know, the plants are growing really well. That's good. People have said, you know, put a Nubius on the wood. That is definitely kind of in the cards. I'm trying to decide right now if I want to install some undergravel filters and things to go along with the filtration I've got going. Still working on that video to kind of show how to optimize. But I just love showing this tank off because I've got so many cool, just little, you know, like here's a little Pandagara, right? And as one person said in the comments, which I've been interacting with you guys a lot more in the comments, you know, you've got the cats and dogs tank. Like, you've mixed the things that, in theory, don't go together. Community fish with, you know, the African cichlids. So, yeah, still, this camera picks up a haze. If I turn the light up a ton, it doesn't pick up the haze as much. But, you know, I'm kind of trying to show you guys what I see. And so, yeah, all the little bubbles you see rising up, that's just the plants being happy and releasing oxygen. So I did get some new fish, so bought new cameras and stuff too, so you'll see that here. But some new fish, I don't know if we'll get to see it in here. There's now a giraffe cat, which my wife, I can't remember, she named it Artemis? Oh, it's right here. It likes to hide out. When they get bigger, they'll be a lot more boisterous, but this thing will get like 3 feet. And that's just a mouth and a face a mother could love there, but it will siphon and clean all your gravel and all your sand. You can kind of, well, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it's kind of been doing the back line there. And yeah, I've actually got my lights pulled back too far. I've been working on the tank and doing things and playing with stuff. So let me pull this up a little more here so we can actually see the flagtail Procholotus. That guy will also get, you know, 20 inches, 24 inches long term. And then all these Bristol Shabunkins, 2 different groups there. But, you know, I'm enjoying this because it's just lively. And they're, you know, eating well, little chunky monkeys. Been feeding a lot of community pellet. Yeah, so a lot of the fry system, mostly all of them have moved to like 10 gallons and stuff. I actually ended up losing some while I was gone, and I think they were getting out through even the fine sponge. So I bought even finer sponges than we sell. And I think some of the fry were getting through it, even though it was barely dripping through. But you can see some fry in here. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, right in the center there. Fry raising up in here that got out, but I think what happened is I got out, then they got sucked into the intake, which was powering this. So that's a bummer. But I turned down the lighting on a lot of these tanks. As I'm going to talk about these, I see the 800 gallon reflecting, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. I have everything on a Casa Wi-Fi timer, and so I'll show you here if it'll focus. I can go to the 800 gallon and we'll just turn that off. And now the reflection's gone. So yeah, I'm going to turn the light down because I want to get the Anubiases to really thrive. And so, this tank, lots of crypts. These ones didn't melt back, even though other crypts were melting. Don't know. It's got all my shrimp in here. One thing I'm kind of wanting to point out that I'm still learning. I've got the puffer in here, the Shodenai puffer. I have now had him in about 8 different tanks. And from what I can see, he has never touched a shrimp. He will murder every ram's horn snail and other little snail he sees, but he apparently just does not care about shrimps, which I would have put money that this guy right here would have been a murderer for shrimps, but he hasn't been. And so I've heard other people tell me this, and I go, well, maybe it's just a puffer. So now it might be worth trying if you could de-snail yourself with a $200 puffer fish, which I realize is ridiculous. But I was using the traps. The trap's still in there, or the collector. There's still some snails. I can see one right there. But basically what I've been doing is I check his belly every day. If it's not looking real full, he's getting real close to moving to the next tank. And so I haven't done this tank yet or anything. But I have been filming this tank a lot. This is the one I've been actually trying to see if I like this camera, the color setup, the low light capability. And I think I do. I think I do enjoy this camera and what it's doing. It's doing really well, I think. And so I'm hoping that this will help you guys that are on TVs and just better quality. Yeah, most people are going to watch on their phone, but it also adds a little bit of element of fun for me as well. Which those guys you just saw on screen, I should say, are a goodied. Some people were saying, why don't you get goodieds, Corey? I have goodieds. And I'm going to get another group I think I'm going to get going too. But these are I call them Zenataka Eisenai. And there's a lot of people that be like, it's been changed to San Marco or this version or that version. And I haven't spent the time to learn because they've changed a couple of times. So these guys are living with shrimp as well. Shrimp are in most tanks that I have. And just cherries, and I've got some Cyprichromis in here, which is there's leftovers. I tried to give these away. Zenzo took them home, and then there was not Zenzo. Bob Steenfot took them home, and then there was 2 left that happened to be a pair. Then they gave birth to those babies, so the cycle continues. And then there's pygmy Corydoras in here as well. But turning the light down so you can kind of see like all of this dwarf Sagittarius. So if you're looking for a plant that'll spread, this is the same plant that's in the 800 gallon also. I took it from here. Same plant. Hey, there's a Pinocchio shrimp. Yeah, those guys are really good algae eaters. I get them from buypetshrimp.com. We carry them in the store sometimes. They only breed in like brackish water, but yeah, look at this camera. It's doing really well tracking that guy that's basically translucent. But the plants with higher lighting goes gangbusters, right? The problem is Anubias doesn't do as well. So you can see my Anubias kind of hidden back there. And this one's all covered in algae, kind of through the weeds. And there's one way back there that actually looks pretty good that you can't really see. But I'm trying, I want to get more Anubias looking good. And so like this one was turned up quite a bit because I was playing with this red flame sword that, yeah, it got big and it looks pretty good. But it also, by not balancing the tank right, I got these pockets of algae, this hair algae that I'm working on a little bit. I'm being lazy, if I'm being honest. And I haven't been fertilizing kind of as much as I wanted. So there's some holes in the Anubias. When you go out of town and you're rushing to get stuff done, that'll happen. Got some algae on the glass, so another reason to turn it down a little bit. You can see there, that's that algae. And, I think for most of us, we're just trying to make our tanks look good. And so by turning the light down, if I get less algae, that makes it look better. Yeah, it's a little more dim, but I like the Anubias looking well, and I like less algae. So here, I put in under gravel filter. Been playing with some plants a little bit. I've got some floating plant right there. I forget the name of that one, tissue culture. I had to uproot everything that was in here to put in the under gravel filter plates. And these are prototypes that I'm working on. You can see one there, printed in white. Looks terrible, but hey, I'll replace it with the black ones I have printed now. Fish-wise, yeah, I do have these super cool rainbow shiners. And then I've got these scratch tetras. Yeah. What's interesting, or what I find interesting, these two tanks, exact same amount of lighting. Like, it's so weird that they are literally the exact same, and like the back's a little bit darker on this one. You see the green, but the plant is blocking so much of the light. And then even the same gravel. It's a very weird thing that even if people have the same settings, same water, next door, same light, and yet visually they'll look different. Crypt Garden died back and melted horribly since the last time you guys saw it. I showed you starting to melt back, and then now I'm showing it start to come back. I think I'm probably going to swap this to underground filter while I'm kind of in this, it's kind of a reset mode. Interesting little tidbit. This Bucephalanda right here was super duper covered in algae, like real bad. Like this one right here. This is Anubias caffifolia, but super covered in algae. All I did was move it with snails. And so, Corey, you might be like, why are you getting rid of snails, Corey? I want to breed fish. Corey, why do you always say you love snails? That right there. They clean your tank amazingly well. All of this crypt that died back, melted back, the snails are eating it, keeping it from an ammonia spike. So, realize that even though I'm getting rid of them, I also still love them. And I will probably see them back in the fish room because they are beneficial. So in this tank, we have Radicus ornatus rainbows. My goal is once I reset this tank, these guys will colony breed. They are helping me. There's way less babies in here now of the guppies. I just realized we have more reflection from the fry rack. Let me turn those off. Try to make this look halfway decent in here. But I want to make more of those because I really like that rainbow. Let's see if I can turn anything else off here that would make sense. There we go. And they come in kind of a blue and a red form. I kind of seeing that. Like I'll try to find one of each here. Like this guy's more red, I would say, on camera. Same fish, same parents. I got them all from the same guy, and he only has one type like this, but they make kind of a red and a bluish form. It's weird. I don't know, is that male, female, dominant male, not dominant male? I don't know. But all of these gold guppies will either go to the store during the big reset, or they'll add the other ones down the road, which 2 tanks down. So a lot of the tanks are in the Corey's resetting, trying new things. I'm running a sponge filter on this one. I'm going to swap it over to under gravel. Why would you do that, Corey? Well, I like testing. I really enjoy testing. And this is a smaller gravel size than what I'm running over here. And if I'm going to observe long-term differences, I gotta put that into practice and start actually observing it. And since we've got this big melt, there's going to be a ton of roots, but I wouldn't have reset it when it was fully grown in. And so now's the time, get the puffer over here, get them eating these snails, and do all of that. This tank, by the way, one of the things I'm really looking forward to is the tanks on average, will clear up a ton. This tank is very clear. I don't know if I'll have the time to edit it, but this tank used to be completely just algae. And so by moving all the gravel, putting in a gravel filter, the water was super duper brown and bad, and it clears it up really fast compared to a sponge filter. So I do like that aspect of them. If we go over here, raccoon tetras. These guys still got some time to go before they're going to blow my mind and hopefully look cool to you guys. But this is the crypt tank that did melt down first. And as you see, they're coming back. I did nothing. All I've done, I've been buying more Anubias because I want to plant more Anubias. And if you don't have time to plant them, you just do this. You drop them in and they'll grow more. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I've got this, maybe a pair. They were acting like a pair the other day of platinum angels that I might breed. And then we've got those, just a 6-pack of tetra, not 6-pack. Is it 6-pack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might just be 6. They might go in the 150-gallon behind my desk, but this is also a candidate for swapping to under gravel while the plants are still small. If I let them get big, I'm not going to want to disturb them because then they'll melt back. But it'd be easy to move the 6 or the 8 fish that are in here, redo it, easy mode. Whereas this one, I did this a couple days ago. It's still a little bit cloudy. I just planted, quote unquote, the couple of Anubias. They were floating around. I've still got some Anubias Anapetite floating around. But by wafting my hand into the gravel, it kicked up all this particulate matter, which will filter out, which is good. You can see this big Anubias here that's flowering and looking awesome. It's still in the pot. So that's just like wait a year, and these over here become those. Now, again, lights were too high because I was using other cameras and different plants. Sometimes you want a plant that likes high light, but I grew a bunch of green spot algae, and so my Anubias looking worse for the wear. But new leaves, like that one right there, that one looks good. So I just gotta, stay the course and it'll right itself. Over here, another kind of Anubias city, I would say. This is, and I've got the new fish. I just want to get rid of the glare because I forgot about the corner store, the retail display. There we go. So these guys, I've got, the red teacup platies, had those for a long time. But what I really want, and I want to breed, and I think I kind of want for the 800-gallon long term, are these emperor tetras. They're not showing it on camera yet, but their blue eye is amazing. They get some yellow on them. They get some, they're like blue, yellow, black, and tan. I am going out on a limb, and I'm going to say that this fish is the next rosy barb, longfin rosy barb, where people are just like, yeah, it's a fish. And then I'm going to have a big group of them, and then they're going to look amazing, and people are going to go, what fish is that? I should buy that. Look at the fins on this male. And this is a real young male. Like, he's already starting to look awesome. 2 males starting to spar going, hey, I breed with these ladies. But what's cool about these guys is I've bred them many times in planted tanks doing nothing. They just breed every day, lay eggs, and then if you're feeding something like Live Baby Brian or the Magic Small Fish feed, you'll just make some. And that's amazing for me. So a tetra that makes more, yes please. Look at this super big amount of shrimp. It's a biggin. Just combing the gravel. Just going, where's that Magic Small Fish feed, bro? Do you even feed? Yeah, so kind of Anubias. I would love the Anubias to just take over. If in a perfect world, I'd fill in this gap all the way across and just have all of my fish doing what you saw. They were basically doing breeding behavior in the big leaves. And Anubias is amazing because it's so easy to take care of. You say, I even have it in the pot. I could turn that around. You wouldn't see the pot. But most of these are in the pot, or I just shove them into a crack in this rock. And so add Easy Green, we'll make more plant. In fact, I installed this bad boy, a 6-way auto doser. It's dosing 1 milliliter in Easy Green in these 6 tanks every day. So very little amounts. Want to make sure that while I'm in Brazil and just traveling, that my plants are still getting nutrients. So this has been a catch-all tank. This has these shabbunkins that were de-duckweeding for me. Thank you, guys. Then it also has white clouds, long fin white clouds. So let me show you those, like these little guys here. They're starting to get their longer fins in. I mean, they have been, but they're getting better and better. Those kind of need to go outside. And then you've got what are all these other fish? Well, these are the rosy barbs, the ones that look super red that you saw in the 800 gallon. These are babies that I bred. I bred them in a 10 gallon, and then I raised them up. And so that's probably just going to be a female there, but you can see that they're starting to put on a little bit of color. And yeah, there's probably 20 of them in there or something like that. And so I bred them. They're free except for food and time. And then they'll go in the 800 gallon with the other ones. So I'm really enjoying that. I love breeding fish, if you don't know that already. If you've never bred fish, you should try it. Sometimes it's real easy. Like, yeah, livebearers, but also some of these egg scatterers. It's on my to-do list to work with these long fin cherry barbs, which are awesome. And yeah, I turn the algae down, or I turn the light down a little bit, which will turn the algae down a little bit. And then I've got this, I've got the underground filter going there, just at a real slow rate. I was blowing the fish around a little bit, and that wasn't too awesome. So you can see they're breeding right there. Harassing that girl going, hey. So if I get the snails out, Operation Pufferfish in there, which it takes a while, because a pufferfish will come and eat all the snails, but it won't eat all those egg clusters. So my puffer's going to be busy for the next few months, probably. Here we've got one of my favorite crypts, Crypt Nuri, highly recommended. I buy it in the tissue culture. We sell it when we can get them in the tissue culture. And they just spread like every other crypt. This one I didn't plant. It just is, they go under the gravel and they pop up. And so I planted like one there and one there and one there, and then they keep kind of like coming out and up, out and up. And pretty soon, or not pretty soon, but eventually they'll take it over. Tons of shrimp, great cover. You could probably see like, yeah, you could have a lot of stuff living down in there, which is, yes, great for fry. And then up top, I've got these livebearers. That's the Alfaro colstratus, kind of a blue-eyed livebearer. You don't see that very often. A little bit of yellow on them. If they have the normal triangle fin, like that one right there is a female. That's a female. And then, where's a male here? Male right there with a little stick fin. And so they'll just make tiny little babies, usually up at the surface. And yeah, so that's kind of a project that hopefully will happen long term. A lot of people ask me, what's this, Corey? What plant is that? That is African fern bulbitis. Again, you can see I've got a little, oh, we made a baby. Look at that. Baby Alfaro colstratus right there, livebearer. Boom. Roasted. Did it. Love it. So they've only been here not that long, but hey, look at this guy. So you got orange eyes? Look at this guy. Some of the Neos, people are getting orange eyes. Oh, I can't. Getting orange eyes now. So you got orange eyes? Kind of looks like it. Come on, get down into normal light. I can't macro in that far, I don't think. Yeah, he kind of looks, maybe I got one that popped out with orange eyes. Anyway, they look kind of cool. I also have in here like 3, I think, bamboo shrimp. I can't find them. Just saw him on the wall a little while ago. But, yeah. Oh, no, there it is. He's waiting. Waiting on the output, waiting for, not you snail. Way back there. Way back. Let's see if I can tap to focus on him. Yeah, way back there. He's waiting for Magic Small Fish Feed to go in. He'll sit in the flow and collect it. Hey, more babies. All right. And then also I have Brigitae rasboras in here, so they're just a fun fish. And they're not big enough to eat. The fry, they're only like, maybe they're a week old, maybe at this point, because I was out of town. Hey, there's another one. All right, yes. Yeah. So sometimes you can just mix fish like this. Like this tank is not set up. You know, this tank is not set up for looking good. Because it will eventually, like when all that crypt fills in, it will look good. But right now it's just serving a purpose of breeding for me, which is great. I like it. Over here, kind of the last 40 breeder. Let me get a seat here. Got the black ruby barbs. I haven't bred these guys yet, but I want to. They look good. At least I think so. You put that along the background of green plants and everything. I need to get some more. So if you see this right here, those leaves that have holes in them, that's an Amazon sword that's not getting enough root tabs. I've been lazy with the root tabs. Where I squirted in the easy green, not enough, but the Java ferns and the Anubias are okay with that. This is definitely one that I kind of, since all the plants don't root in the gravel, they just root on rock, I kind of want to swap this one over to under gravel filter. I'm thinking I'm going to probably take all my mollies to the store and sell them off. Had that fun. And maybe focus on, I'm not sure what exactly will live in here. Maybe breeding these guys, which I should breed them in a 10, not this 40, because the easiest way is to get them to lay eggs and then just move them. And then once you move them, then the fry hatch out. Still playing with the pit bull plecos. Here's one right up front here for us. Haven't got any eggs or anything out of these guys yet. So, yeah. What else are we doing? I guess 10 gallons. I could show 10s and the 150. But yeah, so I've turned out all the lights. So it's kind of dark in here. So making sure that, one, I don't get reflections, and then two, let's turn on the guppy rack, right? Boom, doing it with the phone. Do it. This metal rack plays with my Wi-Fi. Like, it takes a while to actually turn it on and off. That's something I kind of learned, I think, over time. So, these guys still on my Barb breeding list. They look so good. I just always, look at that color. I just think these guys are subtle, and in a nice planted tank with a lot of green plants, I think these would stand out as a nice school. So that's on my to-do list to breed those guys. Some of the babies, let's see if we can find any in here. They're actually growing up to be pretty big. Like the rate at which the Crebensis babies grow are kind of mind-blowing, but they blend in so well. Where are they? I was looking at them earlier today. Oh, right at the bottom of the sponge. It's hiding from me. They're so smart. Let's see if it'll come out again. But yeah, I need to do, needs a strong word. I'm going to breed these again. I'm probably going to catch these fry out so I can set up under gravel, and I just want to test like 20 tanks of under gravel all at the same time so that I get a lot of experience really quick, where I've always just done do a couple. Still the drape fin barbs and the mystery fry growing up to be those. I think they're going to be turquoise rainbows. Again, easy planter. Hey, if you want easy way to make your Anubias look halfway decent, throw in an easy planter. This has just been this way, bare bottom, set up this whole time, and it just keeps getting bigger and better. And that's kind of the whole goal with an easy planter. I just sometimes do it without it. It definitely dresses it up. Maybe I will set up some of those. I got them. I got the corner store, lights off, but I got it right there. I could do that. Again, dwarf golden barbs. Corey's in his barb phase for sure. Let me get on the chair here so it's steady. But yeah, these guys are on the need to spawn list as well. Kind of just a cool nano fish, super small. They've been eating well. You can see that female's just fat with Magic Small Fish Feed. I know I talk about Magic Small Fish Feed a lot, but of the things I've done in the last 10, 15 years, it's up there for maybe the best. Easy Green's amazing too, but yeah, you can see here another planter with an Anubias in it, a little bit of guppy grass. These are the panda guppies I got, 2 pairs for $3. So thank you, whoever brought them to the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society auction. I'm having a blast with them. And yeah, they've already kicking out babies, so that's cool. You can see there's one of the shrimps, these koi orange shrimps. He's getting a shadow from the plant, but here's one right up front. I've only have 2 of them. The vendor, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them, and it was not a fun thing, but if you get them in the right light or the right look, they look pretty cool. I just don't know if they breed true, but I think they're pretty cool. Over here, if you look in the corner of the fish room, I've got African cichlids. Placidochromous starfire. These guys will look awesome 2 years from today. Can Corey hold out for 2 years? I don't know. That's a long time to tie up a 10. Well, they need more than a 10-gallon too, so I need to okay, they got to go into at least a 40 to do anything with them. They were like $1 each, and that's a fish that at this size should have been 20 a piece or something. Let's see. So I put some rainbow fish in here. I have to look for them. There wasn't that many. This is maybe the worst one that their fry were just smaller and got through that sponge at an incredibly small. I'm still a little baffled by that. I'm disappointed. And then this one I think had more. Do I see any? I'm trying to look through the camera lens to see what you guys see, because I see them when I feed, but do I see any on camera right now? Where are you guys hiding now? But these are the Basmani Utter Rivers. And yeah. Well, okay, another example. That is just a Java fern that I never took out of the pot. So many times people are like, you have to take it out of the pot, or do I? With epiphytes, so Anubias and Java ferns, I find you don't. And it makes a really good anchor point, and you can just stick that somewhere. Now, it's showing the wrong way around, but yeah, you could put that between two rocks, and you'd be off to the races. So in here, just a lot of plants and snails and some Corydoras, really, with what's going on. Another Anubias hidden in a planter, but yeah, the snails kind of got out of control, and so I was feeding it real heavy for the Corydoras. One neon rosy barb that was left over from a spawn. I spawned those, and I sent them back to the store, and I kind of want them back again. This is a nice-looking fish. Look at the plants. They're not looking, amazing. They're just green. But that fish stands out. That is a good-looking fish, and a great little algae eater. That's the other thing I like about them. Great fish. Love it. These guys been doing the dance. My little Nigerian red pelvic chromis. Look how good they look. Those are the babies I have up top where, Mom, you ate too many of them, so this time we might intervene sooner. Or I'll be in Brazil and you'll just have to fend for yourselves, but real nice mated pair. The females always get that purple belly, so that's one way to sex them. If you ever play with this fish, all the pelvic chromis crebenza species, the females are more colorful than the males. And so they're pretty easy to sex, especially the albinos. If you ever play with the albinos, they're real cool too. I wish this fish, it's so prolific. I think that's a lot of the problem. It's so prolific that if you ever wanted to breed a pisto, these guys are 50 times easier, 50 times hardier. They also go for 50 times less money. That being said, I did spend $100 buying these from Dan's Fish. But worth it. One spawn, I'll sell them off at $10 a piece or something at the store. And how do you not love that fish? Just getting a pair of those guys going in your fish room. Using a little pisto cave there, or hut. That's what they bred in last time. So, yeah, what else I got going on over here? Anything worth noting? Got these guppies that started producing some fry, so got those from the same auction. If you guys don't know, guppies basically produce fry every 28 to 35 days. But yeah, where did the fry go? I saw them yesterday. So often they hide. In here, I've got these. I think these golden rice fish are going outside. They got that gold top, and I do like that. So that's the one I kept, the golden super Hikari Madaka. Yeah, is that it? Is that all I got today? I think that might all I have today. I want to see how the camera did, see how the audio came out. Oh, I got the 150, which I also was working on. I put an underground filter on one side, not as easy. So I got an underground filter with that big green uplift, which I'll swap it to black at some point. Yeah, not balanced at all in here. I think it's too much light, not enough fertilizer, and I think I've got too many rosy barbs, and they're snacking on. You see how they're snacking on this plant a little bit? I think I'm just not getting them quite enough food. And they'll also they'll snack. There's no algae, no hair algae or anything, but they'll snack on the Anubias. This crypt, like Tiger spiralis, is doing amazing. The Vesuvius is finally starting to take off down here. That's what this plant is, Vesuvius. It's kind of like growing dwarf chainsaw. It'll just keep going under and popping up, but it's got this cool, you know, twisty leaves to it. So yeah, got my Corridoras orange lasers right there and there. Got the eel looking at you guys. He was laying on his side yesterday playing dead. I thought he died, and I was like, oh no! And then he was fine. But yeah, so got one third. I gotta do 2/3 more, but I gotta like move the rock. And so my plan is to move all the rosy barbs to the 800-gallon, and then kind of plant and not replant, but underground filter and kind of replant and get this thing kind of doing something different. And I might take off these lights that are accentuating the red when I do that, because it just, what's deceiving is it makes the fish so red, but it puts out so much light that you're constantly battling the algae on the substrate and that kind of stuff, and that gets old. Like, the fish look amazing, don't get me wrong, but it gets old when you're scrubbing algae all the time. So I might go to just our old aquarium co-op lights, which I don't even know if I have any left at the store. But oh yeah, I should talk more about fish. Green dragon here. So this Wamenensis green dragon, his tail fin or his anal fin starting to develop. Cool fish. I'm playing a lot more with this will look cool in like a year time frame. Like, there's probably just a girl of that. Might be a subdominant male there. Yep, that's just another male. And so yeah, kind of hit a lot of the quick wins, and now I want to see, you see the pictures and like, would it look this good? These guys are the Burchardi tetras that were $50 each. They look cool. Still not $50 cool to me though. They're neat, but they're also, they got time on them. Maybe in another year or something, they'll be blowing my mind. All right, well, thanks for hanging out. I realize I've been doing a lot of just in the fish room stuff, kind of just trying to teach. Want to make sure this camera's dialed in before I go to Brazil with it, even though it won't be underwater. Well, that's actually true. I bought a housing. It will be underwater. But making sure that it works before I'm underwater going, why didn't it capture that? And yeah, so thanks for supporting us. If you're buying from us or hitting that like button or hitting a share or being a member or just even being here, all of that helps and makes me go do more stuff. So I'll see you guys probably when I'm back from Brazil with hopefully some cool footage. And until then, oh yeah, there's rainbow fry right here in this tank as well. Let's see if I can zoom in on any of them. There you go. Little guys swimming around. Hopefully we'll be able to keep them alive while the wife's feeding them and I'm in another country for a couple weeks. All right. Thanks for hanging out.